Joining us now to dig deeper, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Joshua Ritter, also host of the True Crime Daily Sidebar podcast. Joshua, great to have you as always. So how significant would it be if prosecutors are able to establish that the defendant broke into Harwick's home months earlier, as Alex outlined?
Yeah, I agree with Alex. I think it would be huge because it would cut against the defense's entire argument. They're trying to establish that this was a very distraught man, that he was overcome by emotion and in kind of an impulsive act. He showed up to her home, didn't mean her any harm, actually may have intended to take his own life, and then she tragically ended up dead. But if there's evidence that he had broken into her home before, it cuts against all of that, and it just further establishes this really terrifying, obsessed person who was stalking her and likely intended to kill her.
It certainly appears to change the narrative there. So do you anticipate Drew Carey will take the stand, and do you think he could help the defense in this case?
I don't think that he will, because I can't see the advantage that he would have to the defense. I mean, bear in mind, he was engaged to her, so he loves her. I can't imagine that he's friendly to the defense. There is some evidence that he may have been in contact with her a close period of time before she was killed. So maybe there's some helpful things that she had said to him about that interaction that she had with Pursehouse. But it could really backfire on the defense, too. If he's given the opportunity, who knows what Drew Carey might say about his understanding of her feelings towards Pursehouse or her understanding of how she was in fear of him.
And before we have to go, I did want to ask you about the Ruby Franke investigation. She's the YouTube influencer accused of abusing her children. An attorney for Franke's husband spoke to NewsNation's Dan Abrams. Here's the clip, and then we'll come back for a quick question.
It's become abundantly clear that both he and his entire family were being manipulated by someone who's a so-called professional in mental health and in therapy and counseling, Jody Hildebrand. She basically took over their lives. And ironically, this is how twisted the advice was that she was giving them, was that Kevin needed to be out of the home, away from his children and away from his wife, separated from them in order to save their family and save their marriage.
So we have about 20 seconds left. He's saying the business partner was the one pulling the strings. What's your reaction? Would that absolve Ruby Franke in the eyes of the law?
Absolutely not. I mean, that does not absolve her of her duty to protect her own children. We're talking about children. This isn't something that happened overnight. They were being emaciated. They were not being given food for over a period of time. That is something that a parent would notice. And I don't think that even if they want to throw all the responsibility on the other defendant here, I'm not shocked by it. I expect to see a lot more of this, but it does not absolve her in the eyes of the law.
All right. Joshua Ritter, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.